Hi, good morning, everyone. Nice to be here with you. I'm sorry for the technical problems last time. It was the internet on my end of things. So anyway, by the time we figured that out, it was too late to do anything else. So anyway, here we go. Another week goes by, pandemic time, the time flows in that way that it does these days. And so happy to be here with you and would like to welcome any questions you have that you'd like to share about questions or reflections about how your practice is going. It came up afterwards. Joan suggested that we might do a Zoom meeting, so maybe we can plan to do that. I'm not sure exactly when. Maybe I'll plan to do that sometime this month, to have a kind of a follow-up Zoom meeting after the YouTube meeting. And I know I've talked about having a live meeting, and I just really haven't found a place. I haven't, I thought about Dawson campus, and I haven't really contacted anybody at Dawson to make sure that that would be all right. So I can move ahead with that, but I'd also like to invite anybody who is interested in working on that to do a little bit of investigation. If there's a place which is semi-private, it doesn't have to be completely private, but not so public as the the Girard Park across from Yoga on the Park, because there's really not a place where we would be able to tuck away and have a private enough space where people wouldn't be walking through. I've been there on Sundays, and it gets quite busy. So yeah, so just an invitation, and no huge rush about that. So I wrote as the title of today's reflection, open heart and open mind. Yeah, maybe before I do that, I'll just name some of the people I'm seeing, because that's so lovely. Geneviève and Elaine, Robin, Coral, Dominic, and Theo, and Ludmila, and Tyler, and Joan, and Jim, and Philippa, Cynthia, Veronique, Marilyn. So nice to see your presence, to feel your presence here with us. If I missed a name, I'm sorry. Mark just popped up. So yeah, I've just completed a 2-week retreat. It's in another sangha that I'm a participant in. I attend teachings there and do those practices. It's in the Tibetan Burn Buddhist tradition, and they have a very large, what they call a cyber sangha. And so we over the course of the past 2 weeks, it finished on Friday. We gathered, and there were 600 or so people there gathering from around the world, and it really did It was by Zoom, so you could scroll through the pages and see people's faces, but nonetheless, you didn't really need to look at all the faces to have a sense of the people gathered. So we're a much smaller group, and many of us know each other, have gathered together in the space on Yoga in the Park or other spaces, and so as we gather here on Sunday mornings, we can have a sense of doing it for ourselves and also showing up for others, showing up to create a space which supports, receives, values, cares for the presence and the practice of the others who are gathered here, as well as our own. So, so just by being here, that we're supporting ourselves and others. So I was beginning to say that I attended this retreat, this online retreat, and it was a Dzogchen retreat, which is a form, kind of a very open form of meditation, kind of rediscovering the natural mind, and this in this retreat, one of the things that really resonated very deeply for me, and that I've been living since then, is this sense of openness, the openness, an open heart, an open mind, and the openness, if and when we have this sense of openness to our experience in every moment, our life can be a mirror to us, to reveal to us who we are. So now, what comes into mind, as I say, it can reveal to us who we are. One thing that might come up to mind is, a sense of, like if it reveals my mind to me, that's not necessarily good news. So, did you have that thought? And if so, that's an important thing to realize. Every moment can reveal the mind, and there's nothing to be rejected. There's nothing to be seen as bad. It's all part of life. Now there are, as we know, there are mind states, manifestations of mind that lead to peace, happiness, freedom, states, qualities of mind that benefit our own being and other beings. And these, of course, are qualities such as kindness, goodwill, compassion, appreciative joy, equanimity, generosity, gratitude. So all of these qualities, which arise naturally and which can be cultivated, are bring us, bring us more and more into well-being and extend well-being to others. And other manifestations of mind such as jealousy and ill will and anger and grasping, wanting what's not there, wanting what we don't have, uh, being disconnected from ourselves. These lead to suffering, and they lead to unskillful behavior. And when our minds and hearts are open in each moment, life can reveal what is manifesting so that we can cultivate what is skillful and serves the well-being and happiness of all. And we can let go, not push away, but let go. Stop grasping what is unskillful. But we need to see it. We need to know it. We need to be open to what is manifesting. We need to be unafraid to let life be a mirror to us in each moment. So I hope that's making sense. And so this means, really cultivating that quality of mindfulness. And what I named in the title of the talk today, an open heart and open mind. So when this sense of sadness arises. So when sadness arises, sadness just comes up, and sadness might come up because we just feel that maybe we don't measure up or we're not wanted. It may have deep roots of conditioning from our earliest experiences. And so if this sadness arises in a space of warmth, of openness, open heart. So the heart is open in the sense that it's accepting, it's warm, it doesn't reject. The mind is open in the sense that it's aware. And this is where our meditation practice is so key, so essential, because when the heart is not open, when the mind is not open, then we're just identifying with whatever it is that's coming up. The sadness, the feeling threatened, the feeling defensive, the anxiety. When the heart and mind is open, when there's this sense of goodwill towards ourselves and others, when there's this capacity to be aware and to receive into our awareness without rejecting, without pushing away, then we're learning. We're learning about the mind. We're learning about what are those formations, those how do we react? How have we been conditioned? And in that space, in this space of openness, of awareness, of of kindness. Life can teach us. Life can reflect back the mind, and it's so important to know that this mind is something that is not fixed. It's not solid. It's always evolving, always changing, and so whatever life shows us, you know, this course was called the 7 mirrors of Dzogchen. So Dzogchen is this capacity to be to simply always be present and to be aware and open in all of our experience. So, I mean, that's a very simple statement, but to receive every moment as a mirror of how we are shaping our experience. So and whatever it is, it's good news. So if the heart is, if we see someone, you know, say we're walking in a park, and we see someone. So however we experience, you know, someone we don't know, just anyone. Let's say, you know, a person dressed in any particular way, doing any particular thing. It could be, you know, whatever comes to your mind. And so we don't know that person. We don't know anything about them. Do we see them with an open heart, with an open mind? Or do we see them with judgment? Or do we see them with fear? Or do we see them with grasping? Or do we see them with comparison? You know, so it's so important in that moment to know, because we're creating the world that we live in that moment. We're creating our experience of that person in the moment. We don't know anything about them, but we create how we experience that person, and so we're creating you know, whether that experience is one of kindness or equanimity or acceptance or judgment or ill will. And even as we see that what the mind creates is painful, that we project on the other person our own mental states, our own conditioning, our own projections, even as we see that, and we see that it's the pain body, the pain mind, the conditioned mind that we're projecting onto that person. And we can have a sense of, oh, you know, kind of a recognition that we're creating pain. And at the same time, there's joy in that. There's joy in seeing it instead of being it. There's joy in the awareness and the potential that we have in that moment to question our assumptions, to question, to see with fresh eyes, to say, is that so? Is that really true? Or am I making that? And so can we arrive in each moment of our life with curiosity, with a sense of freshness and openness? So that's I think for me it's a great encouragement to continue to deepen in my meditation practice, to bring that the curious and non-egoic mind, not shaping my experience, according to my quote unquote self-interests or bias, and just, speaking of bias, it's so interesting how many people, I'm really heartened by how many people are really asking the question these days about, how am I perpetuating bias? How am I perpetuating systemic inequity, racism, oppression toward particular groups, toward groups that are considered, by the dominant culture unconsciously to be other, whether it's queer, transgendered people, people of color, indigenous, people living in poverty, people living with disabilities. So many ways that the mind others and excludes. And so this capacity to really step up in each moment to our experience and to see how the mind classifies, projects, and defines how we experience the world, experience each moment, experience our relationships, is so important. It's such important. It's such important work. It's such an important commitment. So we do this to liberate ourselves for the benefit of others as well, for our own happiness, well-being, and for the benefit of all. Because the more we are free to see without bias, to see without, to experience, to know, to open to life with fresh eyes and ears and an open heart, the more we can respond in ways that really are connected to what's arising, connected to that moment, that encounter in that moment with whoever it is that's we're sharing our life, our space, our world with. So in practice, this radical openness, radical honesty, radical acceptance, to each moment, with an open heart and open mind. This is what we're cultivating in meditation. So important. So let's sit. Let's do this work together. So please take a moment now to, if you've been sitting, to maybe get up and stretch your legs and just move your body for a moment. And if you've been not in meditation posture, just to take a meditation posture in whatever relationship to the screen that you would like. You can certainly kind of just, yeah, and so feel your body sitting or lying or standing on the earth. Feel that support, that connection, that the body, the weight of the body is supported by the earth, meets the earth. You can trust the earth to support you. And find a sense of balance and ease in that support. And bringing an uprightness to the spine, feeling the base of the spine rising up through the crown of the head. So the spine rising from the base through the crown of the head, lifting upwards with a kind of an energetic commitment to begin again and begin again each time the mind drifts away. And so that stable base and that energized axis, and around that, just let the body be straight and relaxed with the chest open. So eyes closed or with the gaze downward and soft. And let the whole face become neutral. Or if you wish, just a subtle whisper of a smile, which can help relax the face. Invite the heart to also relax, bringing the attention into the body, into the chest, and feeling the heart. Inviting the heart to relax, to be soft, to let go of any sense of it being defended, contracted, armored. Maybe breathing deeply into the heart, letting go. Doing that a few times if you like. And then taking that kind attention into the solar plexus, letting it relax, inviting it to relax. And the belly. So feeling the whole sense of the inner channel of the body, in the center of the body, feeling alive, relaxed, energized. Collect your attention around the breath. And as you feel the breath, I invite you to feel the breath in the whole body. So not so much zeroing in, pinpointing the attention in the breath, but letting the breath be a whole body experience. So you might feel it in a general way in the body. You might feel it kind of in the periphery of the body. But let your breath bring you into a sense of the wholeness of this body, the aliveness of this body. You may notice a sensation in your body. Maybe there's a sensation in which you feel discomfort, a particular place in the body. And one way that you might work with this is to just allow that discomfort, wherever you may experience it, to be there within the larger sense of the whole body. So it may be kind of like an island in the ocean or in the lake, of a sense of this whole body, this whole dynamic, energetic body. So settling into an openness in the body, a spaciousness in the body. Letting the mind be present, resting. A sense of filling the whole body with awareness. let that sense of awareness in the body, filling the body, and even not contained by the body, but allow the body to have a kind of a soft edge, so that the awareness in the body even moves beyond the periphery of the skin. And settling into a stable presence. In this spaciousness of the body, openness in the body, awareness in the body. However it's manifesting for you, it doesn't have to be a particular way. The breath is still present in some way in the periphery of awareness, or present in the body as part of the experience of this body. How is it for you? Noticing what your experience is right now with that open, mirror-like awareness. What's the mind? How's the mind experiencing this moment? Is the mind saying, I can't do this? Or is the mind resting? Is there joy in this presence? See what is manifesting in the mind in this moment. Are you aware? Are you present to your own experience? Are you present how life is manifesting within you and through you right now? Without rejecting or grasping. With an open heart, an open mind. Just knowing. Being curious. We reject, we grasp when we think that what's happening in the mind is about me, that it's mine. We don't need to make it about a self. In the last few minutes of the sitting, let's invite the heart quality of goodwill, of kindness, benevolence into our being, into the heart center. And evoking this quality of metta just by a word, metta, or or may all beings be well and free from suffering, or just bringing to mind something, some being that opens your heart to this goodwill. Could be, I'm hearing the sound of birds outside my window. Could be the memory of a bird flying into the bird bath that I keep on the back porch, or zooming through the water sprinkler when it's running to take a little shower, or a child, maybe your own child, or a neighbor, or a kid you saw in the park with their family, perhaps. Just seeing the family together, caring for each other. Just letting that quality of heartfulness be present and radiating it outwards in all directions. Radiating that goodwill to the front, to the right, to the back, to the left, above, below. And of course within, filling your whole being with goodwill, with kindness, with wishing all beings well. Radiating kindness throughout the entire world. No being excluded. May our practice, the practice that we have shared here today, and the practice that we live in our daily lives, living as well as we can, ethically and kindly and generously and wisely. May this practice serve the happiness, well-being, and liberation of all beings. Is there anything that anyone feels moved to share as a question or as a reflection today? It's for one's own benefit and the benefit of others. I guess maybe just to emphasize a point in from what I shared in the opening talk. Okay, so here's a question. Something on having an open heart when we're angry. So when we're angry, then we open our heart to the anger. So the anger, not rejecting the anger, and nor do we stay caught in the projection of the anger being caused by something outside of ourselves. So the mind that blames, and the mind that says, you caused my anger, but the anger is something that's manifesting from causes and conditions, inner and outer causes and conditions. So anger is triggered, and we don't blame ourselves for being angry. It's not that the anger is bad. The anger is not bad. The anger is coming up, is manifesting, and we can listen wisely to the anger. So when a child comes in, runs into the house and, is angry because something happened, or because they can't have something, or, whatever reason, we as a friend, as an aunt or uncle or neighbor or parent, whatever our relationship is to that child, we can listen. We can, first of all, just give that anger that space to be received, and allow that anger to, whatever the energy is, that wound up energy that's kind of spilling out, just allowing that to be heard, received, and dissipated. And then with the wisdom that we all have, that we each have, examining that occasion for anger, and what when we bring an open heart, when we bring an open mind, what can we learn about that, those causes and conditions which gives rise to anger. So anger angry with the system, with governments, and it's the anger is exhausting. The anger can wake us up in the sense that it's really uncomfortable, but to live out of the anger doesn't energize us, doesn't feed us and nourish us to bring something creative and wholesome and healing into the world. I mean, there never was, I think that part of what makes us so angry, if we get caught in that, is the sense that, that somehow it should be another way. it's not that things have gone wrong. It's that, yeah, I mean, at the time of the Buddha, there was oppression. At the time of the Buddha, there was, at any time in history that we can think of, there has been suffering, there has been exclusion. There never was an ideal time. So what can we do in this moment, in this time, in our lives, to bring more wisdom, more compassion, more love, more acceptance into our world of our home, our world of our community, our world of our society, widening circles. So we need patience. We need to be we need to be wise. Yes. I mean, I understand about channeling anger, but I think that if anger is the energy that's driving us, eventually we burn out. Anger is like a fire, and it burns us up. So, anger can, in a way, wake us up. And I think that the energy that can really fuel us is love, is wisdom, is the recognition that no one deserves to be excluded. No one deserves to be prejudged. Like, that is ignorance. And the medicine, what's the medicine for ignorance? It's clear seeing. Anger leads us into blame. I mean, I remember being involved in activism when I was, 19 or 17, actually. Lots was going on in the States where I was growing up, New York. And I really, there were many conditioning factors in me, but one thing that I really saw was that the divisiveness that came from anger and blame is only perpetuated, and deepened, and it just goes on and on. So, these deep, that's why I think that the dharmic response to injustice, inequity in the world is so important, because it can address the inequity, it can address the ignorance, it can address the harm that is being done to people without rejecting the humanity of those, who may be caught in the ignorance. So, yeah. So that's, and I really encourage you and all of us to educate ourselves. There's so much being written now, so much exploration being done about mindfulness and a mindful response to the injustice in the world. It's really important counterbalance to the blaming and the demonizing, because demonizing on any side is not helpful. So thank you so much. It's lovely to be with you, and I really hold you in my heart and feel nourished by this sangha. And I will be here next week. And I just want to also say that this is my only teaching commitment for the summer. I'm not teaching on Wednesdays anymore at the Yoga on the Park studio. So that it should be taken off our True North Insight website. I don't think it has yet, and I'll be sure to communicate to Janet that it should be taken down. But I will be here through the summer, and so I hope that it continues to support you in your practice. So it does support me as well. So, be well, my friends, and lots of love to you and to in your widening circles. Bye-bye.